Approaches to curriculum designing. Desired learning outcomes. Identify some familiar curriculum designs and approaches to the designs. Analyze the approaches in the light of how these are applied in the school setting.
1, 2, 3. At patuloy pa ang pagbibilang ng walang katapusang impormasyon. Habang tayo'y nag-aaral pa, paulit-ulit natin naririnig ang terminong curriculum sapagkat tayo ay na-expose dito. At sa pagtuloy na pagunlad ng panahon, marami na rin curriculum design ang binuo ng mga educational experts na maaaring magamit sa mga pagsubok ng modernisasyon. Ako po yung kaibigan kabalitaan at kakampi, Corina Sanchez. At ngayon, sabay-sabay nating tuklasin ang mga approaches to curriculum design.
At ngayon, tingnan natin ang pinaka-ginagamit na curriculum design sa silid-aralan. Ito ay kilala natin bilang subject-centered design. Ano nga ba ang subject-centered design?
Subject-centered design is one of the curriculum design models. This model focuses on the subject matter as the primary organizing principle for curriculum development. This design involves understanding the target audience's behaviors, preferences, and goals, and then tailoring the design to meet their specific needs.
At ano ang iba't ibang uri nito?
Subject design is the oldest and so far the most familiar design for teachers. According to the advocates, subject design has an advantage because it is easy to deliver. However, the drawback of this design is that sometimes learning is so compartmentalized. It stresses so much the content and forgets about students' natural tendencies, interests, and experience. Discipline design. This curriculum design model is related to subject design. However, while subject design centers only the cluster of content, discipline design focuses on academic disciplines. This curriculum design model is often used in college. Correlation design. It links separate subject designs in order to reduce fragmentation. Subjects are related to one another and still maintain their identity. Broad field design or interdisciplinary broad field design is a variation of the subject-centered design. This design was made to cure the compartmentalization of the separate subjects and integrate the contents that are related to one another.
At yan ang mga dapat nating malaman tungkol sa subject-centered design. At ngayon naman, talakayin natin ang learner-centered design. Ano nga ba ito? Pakinggan natin ang pahayag ni Miss Momo tungkol dito.
When we talk about curriculum, we also discuss the standards-based sequence of planned experiences where students practice and achieve proficiency in content and applied learning skills. For many years, different designs has emerged in order to provide various comprehensive curriculum designs, one of which is the learner-centered design. From the name itself, the center of this curriculum design are the learners, as it is heavily influenced by the ideas of progressive educational psychologists. At first, the learner-centered design put high emphasis on elementary level learners, but as time progressed, secondary and tertiary level learners also use this design. The only difference is that there is also a focus for content in high school, and in college, there is a focus on discipline. There are three main variations in a learner-centered design. The child-centered design is a variation of the learner-centered design, and it is attributed to the influence of John Dewey, who is a progressivist. And in the philosophy of progressivism, ideas should be tested by experimentation, and learning comes from finding answers from questions. Thus, learners in this design are perceived as active agents for their own learning and are not only dependent and reliant on the discussion from their teachers to gain knowledge. Learners experiment on their learning, and from that experimentation, they construct meaning and understanding. Another variation for learner-centered design is the experience-centered design. Curricularists who use this design believe that it is through experience that learners can discover their interests and needs. The teacher's role in this design is to formulate various types of activities, which allow students to express their freedom of choice, since different opportunities are given to them by the teacher. Additionally, in this variation, time is flexible. Thus, learners can learn beyond the school hours. The last variation is the humanistic design. This design is influenced from the theory of Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a theory that explains human motivation based on the pursuit of different levels of needs. The theory states that humans are motivated to fulfill their needs in a hierarchical order, from the basic ones before moving on to more advanced needs. Once these needs are met, an individual is then open to different experiences and accepting of self, others, and nature. For Carl Rogers, he believed that a person can enhance self-directed learning by improving self-understanding, which is the basic attitude to guide behavior. Thus, if a student has excellent self-understanding, he or she is able to know what learning strategies is best for him or her. With the guidance from the teacher, both the student and the teacher can decide what and how they will learn. It can be done individually or with a group, but overall, the concept is that students take ownership of their learning. From all the variations mentioned, it can be implied that in a humanistic curriculum design, the development of the self is the ultimate objective of learning. Therefore, it stresses the development of positive self-concept and interpersonal skills.
At yan ang mga importanteng impormasyon na dapat nyo malaman tungkol sa learner-centered design. At dumako tayo sa panghuli, ang problem-centered design. Ano nga ba ito?
A problem-centered curriculum has conceptual origins in constructivism, which holds that knowledge is generated via active engagement of students in the learning process. When we say constructivism, students are not just passively taking the information, but rather they are an active participants. They reflect and learn upon the experiences that they encounter, as well as build their own representation and connect it to their pre-existing knowledge. A problem-centered curriculum immerses students in real-world challenges that compel them to address them. Problem-centered curriculum models adopt a learner-centered approach that enables learner to undertake research, integrate theory and practice and apply knowledge and skills to generate a feasible solution to a stated problem.
At ngayon, pag-usapan natin ang dalawang halimbawa ng problem-centered design.
We have here two examples for problem-centered design. Life situations design or curriculum believes that persistent life situations are crucial to a society's successful functioning. It makes sense to organize a curriculum around them. If the information is arranged around components of social life, students will perceive immediate relation to what they are studying. Furthermore, this design aims to help students who study social or life circumstances not only learn about methods to better society, but they also become immediately involved in that development. Number 2, core problem design. It is centered on the problems that are based on the common human activities such as climate change, pollution, deforestation, and waste disposal. It focuses on the common needs, problems, and concerns of the learners. In problem-centered approach, the learners are independent and are capable of directing and guiding themselves in resolving problems. The problem-centered approach leads the students in recognizing problems and seeking solutions.
At yan ang tatlong approaches to curriculum designing. Ako po ang iyong kaibigan, kabalitaan at kakampi, Corina Sanchez, at sana'y may natutunan kayo sa episode na ito. Salamat!